All right. Okay. Really? All right. Ah. Well, I'm kind of busy streaming myself, so maybe I'll check you out later. Anyways, yeah, that's what I thought. I don't know. Anyways, I figure I'm gonna play home and pretend like nothing happened while I do it, and just kind of talk to myself because I'm in that kind of a mood. So, usually wind up talking to myself anyways, but we'll see how it goes. Uh, I was almost gonna do more Destiny 2, but I don't feel like doing Destiny 2. So, without further ado, let's start over. Yes, start over. Game will be saved automatically at certain points. Or recommend you put aside an hour and a half and complete home in a single sitting, which is what I did last time. I don't remember a lot about it. I remember it was sufficiently creepy. Let me sleep this, so I'm not running the battery, and we'll get on with it. So, come on, drop some wavy vibes on my stream. Follow me back. Did you even follow me though? Doesn't matter. It's not what it's about. Turn off the lights. Maybe I should do that. That might be good. Let's get some. Give me a minute. I'll get some. Sit here with my kitty. We'll get some vibes going. The lights on in the kitchen, but it's still sufficiently dark in here. Broadcasting on the side might ruin things a little bit, but I doubt it. So let's go. All I remembered at that point was finding myself alone. Oh, oh my head. Where was I? It was so dark. Pixels! There's something by my feet. A flashlight. I didn't have a choice in picking that up, so. Yeah, it's been, I got it on sale and made a run of it. Oh god, I don't know, like a year ago probably? That house. Where was I? Oh, I remember that. There's a body lying on the floor. Who was it? Who indeed? Oh, cat. Oh, you scared me. Startled. So many potted plants. Oh, oh. The desk had a computer and some papers on it, and a single drawer. I didn't want to snoop, but did I open the drawer? No, I don't care. Maybe it was better that I left the desk alone. I ain't seen shit, officer. Blood on the wall. It smelled fresh and sickening. I realized there's blood on my shoes and pants. Oh man, I had to get out of there. So, we're gonna announce all this. I didn't see shit, officer. You can't prove it in a court of law. I plead the fifth. Anyways. I noticed that I limped as I moved down the stairs. How did I hurt my leg, I wondered. All I could really recall was coming home, seeing Rachel. I was upset. She looked afraid. I shook my head and tried to clear it. I knew I should head downstairs, try to find a way out. A thin gray mouse was stuck in a trap. Looked frantic but exhausted. Did I free it? Sure. Oh no, I set a potential witness free. Now I'm screwed. A collection of rusty tools. These look like they'd seen a lot of use and were caked in damp smelling dirt. Why weren't they in his shed? Because it adds to the ambiance with the this dildo thing on a stick. And I'm not sure what it's supposed to be, and all these arts. Found a picture of a couple. It looked like it'd been moved a lot. There seemed to be a switch behind it. Did I push the switch? Sure. It depressed smoothly into the wall. I heard a faraway click somewhere. Okay. The shelf was full of books on local history and hunting. It seemed like the owner of the house really knew this area. Oh, startled. An old dining table covered in dirty dishes for 2 people. There are dozens of beer cans and other liquor bottles among the dishes. The smell is turning my stomach. What's this? A black and white photo. Looked like the man upstairs and his wife, I guess. There's no reason for me to keep this. Did I take it? No. I figured this was no help to me, so I left it behind. I'm taking nothing. I'm picking up shit. You can't prove anything except for the fact that I pushed that button. Ooh. Ooh. I looked like hell. My clothes were dirty and torn. There was mud caked all over my shoes. More dildos. Oh. Hello? The door was taped up and seemed to be stuck. By the smell, I guessed it led to the kitchen. The front door is blocked by a pile of furniture. I knew I had to find another way out. Just climb over. That's why I came in, right? No, I came downstairs. What's in here? The bathroom was incredibly clean. Every surface had been thoroughly wiped, and nothing seemed out of place. Don't forget to wipe that. There's a photo development tray lying on the floor. Some leftover negatives were sticking out, but they were pretty blurry. Thought I saw what looked like treetops. So, more dildos on sticks. Ooh. Kitchen's open now. There were sheets of paper all over the kitchen table. It looked like a series of names were written down, but they were too smudged to read. I can only make out a few of the notes. Keycard. Ocker. Last one, I promise. It didn't make much sense at the time. Hello, mouse. Following me? Planning to report on my crimes? If I even committed any crimes. You can't prove that. The switch on the wall appeared to have unlocked the door. The box looked heavy, but there were marks on the floor. It had obviously been moved before. Maybe I found a way out. I must have moved it, right? No, I decided to live here. I left it alone, but I couldn't think of another option. This is my life now. Just... Alright. Yes. Heavy box. I must have moved it, right? Yeah, sure. It's not picking it up, so I can move it. Leave more fingerprints. There's a ladder going underground where the box was. A dank smell rose from the passage. Did I climb down the ladder? No, you just dropped. How deep could it be? My leg hurt like hell as I climbed down the ladder. The tunnel below was even darker and the smell wasn't getting any better. But I had to get out there and find my way home. Roll credits. Dank cave. What's this? Footprints in the dirt. Look like more than one kind and a lot of traffic. Conspiracy theories. Places all over were marked on the old map of the town. The industrial area near the river, various houses, and even the water tower near that old rail station. The old rail station. I'm embellishing. Newspaper clippings from the local paper. They were all about murders in towns over the last few years. Wait. There were photos. Photos of our house. What the hell is that about? Maybe I should have looked around more, tried to find some kind of information. A work table covered in papers, dirt, and a handgun. I hated guns. I didn't take it, did I? No, no, no. I didn't even want to touch the thing. Better I left it right where it was. Going even deeper. It was so dark down there. The air smelled stale and putrid. I couldn't believe what I saw. What was this place? Indeed, what is this place? A dank cave full of office desk looked old and was caked with grime. On it was a stack of old faded paper covered with what looked like names. They were scratched out and illegible notes were written beside them in faded blue ink. I could only make out a few letters. He, iv, e, he, u, r, f, o, r. None of it made any sense to me. Why am I trying to read that out? What's over here? More ways in there? Oh. Looked like a cage. It was small, but there was something coating the bottom. Something wet. Nope. Crudely made shells. It looked like they were holding cans of some kind of corrosive. The labels were worn and slick, but I could still see the warnings. Some kind of homemade rack, slung together with poorly cut wooden rope. It was caked with old blood. Somebody didn't actually use that, did they? Excuse me. There looked to be bones half dug into the ground, and the remains looked old. Who put them here? I guess if I was gonna sit and talk about stuff going on and stuff I wanted to do, I shouldn't have picked a game with so much reading in it. I guess I could just not read it, but... So, anyways. Typical night. Get a couple of visitors, and they stick around for a minute, and then they're like, nope, don't like it. Fair enough. Some kind of old boxes. They look like they were years old. Wait a minute. These boxes had old clothes in them. Clothes I remember throwing out after Rachel and I moved to town. What the hell were these doing here? Who's stalking me? Oh god, oh. I remember noticing the broken ladder. I had to be careful. Let's do this over here first. I think that only creeped me out because of the controller vibration over nothing. Hey, Skelly Man. There's a rope hanging there. I wasn't sure how sturdy it was. Did I take it? No. I didn't think it would hold me, so I left it. I take nothing. Nothing. I don't remember if I jumped down there or found another way. It looked to be a long way. Did I jump down? No. Maybe there's some other way to get down there without risking any more injury to my leg. Now let's jump. Fuck it. Already in a weird house. Yes. I have faith in my legs. Oh man, my leg hurt. I was limping even worse than before. I could hear some sort of faint humming noise up ahead. I'm just gonna be like dragging myself on my arms by the time this thing's over. Hello? Bunch of old newspapers, wheat pasted together. A message had been hastily smeared on it. Keep out. Danger due to cave in. How slow will I go by the end of this if I keep doing this shit? And the sound design is like pretty good, I guess. It's a lot. That's the only jumping out of it. Jump really aggravated my leg. It hurt more than ever. Those tunnels, though. What was the man upstairs up to? What was he doing there? As I peered past that heavy metal door and into the gloom, I started to second guess myself. Maybe I should have taken that gun I had found. Exposed ventilation shaft. Maybe someone crawled through there? But it was so high up. That must have been a sore landing. You just jump down God knows how far. Oop. There's dirt on the ground. Look wet and there's grass smeared within it. Oh, I'm gonna go over first. What's over here? Could hear a faint trickling sound like water. What was that? Water, maybe? Oh, okay. There's a kitchen knife covered in drying blood. Thinking about it makes me sick. I didn't even want to touch it. Did I take the knife? Nope. We don't pick up anything. I was relieved to leave the filthy knife right where I found it. We're hurt. We can't take the extra weight. Oh my god. It's all just noise scares. What's this? I wasn't sure what those valves were for. Did I turn it anyways? Nah, I left the valve alone. Go over here. There's more valves. 3 and 4. Had no instruction. Alright, so we got 3 and 4. That's a 2. I thought it was a Z because it looks like a Z. And I'm an idiot. Oh wait, hold on. It's gonna be valve 1. 1? Okay. What's this? I wasn't sure, but I thought it was some kind of regulator. I had no idea how it worked. Best not to touch it then. The door was locked. There's a musty smell from inside. Let's go back up that ladder. I don't know. It's a saturated market. It's like Twitch streaming is just not a thing for me, I guess. I don't know. Disgusting. It was a mess of filthy garbage bags. There were rips and tears in most of the bags. What looked like an old videotape was sticking out. Did I take it? Nope. I don't want any part of this. I didn't want to keep hauling junk around. Says the person with nothing. I got the flashlight. I didn't have a choice in that though. It's like the crux of the game. So, I don't know. I like the idea of getting some people like in here and actually having some dialogue, but I don't even know what to do anymore with this stuff. Like, let's see what's out the exit. There's a rusty ladder sunk into the water, which smelled disgusting. I knew I can climb down to that. Maybe I could find a way to drain the putrid water. Yes, maybe I could. I don't know. Like, if I acknowledge people, they usually leave. If I don't acknowledge people, they leave. It's like, what do, internet? How do I do? Alright, let's turn the knob. I thought I could turn this water valve to shut off its flow. Did I turn it? Sure. Yep, there we go. Follow the handy instructions. Yeah, it's an interesting little game. I don't know what kind of commentary I'm going for. Any commentary. I really just kind of on my own and don't even know how to go into it, just talking to nobody. It's usually how these broadcasts go though. I like doing it for fun. It would be great if I could get some traction and connect with people, but that just doesn't seem to be a thing that like happens for me, so. Looked like the water drained out of that grate in the wall. There's a small metal key left floating in the shallow pool of rancid water. Did I take it? No. Keys lead to more complications in your life. I didn't feel like getting my hands soaked in that grimy water. Yep. I don't need shit. No keys or nothing. Safety posts are definitely seen better days. How old was that facility? Door was locked. I can see a faint light within. Oh, too bad. I don't usually broadcast games like this either. You know, Sometimes I care and sometimes I don't. Ooh, what's this? There's a security camera in the room. There must have been a way to see what would happen. Found another dead body. Sewer worker. He was a mess, but he looked like he'd been stabbed. I could see a key ring that had fallen out of his pocket. Did I take it? Nope, I don't care. I don't want to get closer to any dead man. I left the keys where they were. Find the police. Get out of here. I could smell a hint of fresh air here. I was anxious to leave, but worried that I had missed something. You're missing everything. You don't even care. This must have been the other end of that ventilation shaft. Whoever used it could have gotten past that flooded room with this. Cat, I hear you licking yourself in the dark. Why would you do this? You're ruining everything. I wonder what was in that locked room I passed. Should I have gone back to check? I gingerly climbed the ladder, my leg protesting with each step on the way. Suddenly, awful smell of that sewer gave way to the dank scent of pine trees. I love pine trees. Pine trees remind me of home. Huh. I didn't even think of that. No, pine trees remember me of... So I lived in Alaska until I was like... I don't even remember how old, but... Yeah, pine trees. Pine trees and snow. And things. Maybe I'm too quiet. Maybe people are like, no, I can't hear shit. There's a ladder. No ladder leading up to the ancient water tower. Ladder needed to be extended so I could climb it. Did I extend the ladder? Is that picking something up? I'll extend it. Pop the latch, brought the ladder down. Hey bats, what's up? How tall is this water tower? What's this? Patch of smeared dirt and grass. There was a beat up old wallet. I thought it was mine. Did I take it? No. Someone dropped their wallet. I wasn't sure I wanted to carry around something so incriminating. Exactly. Carry nothing. From the railing I could see over the woods and down to the entrance of the sewers. Had I come through there before? If I did, someone definitely could have seen me. Witness! Witnesses! It's gonna be a great stream. Be nice and quiet and calm and horror game and dark and talking about stuff. And I'll post it to my failed YouTube channel where no one will watch it either, or they'll watch like 10 seconds of it and it won't even matter. It's like sometimes I gotta stand back and just do shit because I feel like doing it. Because, okay, rusty door is locked tight with an old padlock. Faded sign on the door warned about some kind of danger. Must have referred to the town's old train station. I really don't know anymore. Like, I did have a brief moment where I thought maybe I could turn this into something. Now it just doesn't seem like it'll, seems like that's kind of foolish of me. This must have been the entrance to the forest that was mentioned on that map I had seen. Whoever was poking around in those tunnels underneath that man's house had scribbled notes on this place, but I couldn't make them out. Here the sign pointed out various campsites and walking paths within the woods. It mentioned a river and maybe a washroom, but the rest was too faded to be seen clearly. Oh, I remember this part. It's like trample around in the bushes and find your way through while something chases you. Worn picnic table stood within a circle of trees like an altar. It was covered in faint markings and carvings from who assumed were previous campers and hikers. Should have taken that bloody, crusty knife. Then I could carve something in on the bench. The forest was split by a freezing river. It looked like the bottom was all rocks. My leg throbbed with the pain of jumping down that broken ladder. It was too dangerous to try to make it across in this state. I had to turn back. It's alright, I can go trample through these bushes like 5 feet away and find a completely different area. You look kind of wobbly. Through the fence I can see a dilapidated outbuilding. I wonder if I could find my way around. Maybe you can. Let's go over here. It's like I immediately start streaming. Wow, there's so many holes. What's this? It's a fire pit there. It's still a bit warm, and a few embers still burned at the bottom. 2 folding camping chairs were on the ground. One was knocked over. There was a couple of cans of beer spilled on the ground. cheap dome tent slept 2 people. I show my flashlight inside and can see some bedrolls, 2 backpacks, and a cooler. Did I come in through here? I did not. What's going on here? No, 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 don't look. No, no. Primary sink had a small patch and it looks almost clean. There's a damp smelling plank leaning against the stall door. I might have been able to cross the river with it. Did I take it? No. Let the plank where it was. Perhaps just wading through that river would be safer. I'm not taking shit. I'm not taking shit, officer. I don't know what you're talking about. Just randomly dropped in there. I don't know, I guess you do whatever you gotta do in order to get in there. And did I come in through here? How lost will I get? How... Sign was the same as the first one I'd seen. This must have been the exit to the other side of the woods. Sweet, let's go. I'd finally found the exit. Once I left, I knew I was never wanted to return there. Bye. Finding a campsite had been strangely unsettling. I couldn't imagine why anyone would abandon their site in the middle of the night, especially in that dark forest. I was relieved at least to finally be out of there. Even now, as I peered through the dense trees, I could see cracks of light and a bit of the land beyond. I must have been getting closer to town, but where exactly was I? I don't know. Things are rough right now. And, I don't know. I kind of wanted to make a run of Twitch or any of the YouTube stuff. YouTube's not very viable anymore, but I do it for fun. And I'd like to have more interaction with people, but as I stepped through the gate, I suddenly recognized the auto parts factory where I had worked as a machinist for all those years. The plant had closed almost 3 years ago now. Times were better then. I thought I could hear a faint rustling behind me. Maybe it was just the wind. Maybe. Through the fence? Oh, well, that was a wrong turn. What's this? Down on the ground was a cracked old watch. It was mine. I bought it on a trip out west with Rachel. I barely went a day without wearing it. Didn't look like it worked anymore, and it was heavy. Did I take back my watch? No. Just looking at the watch turned my stomach. I decided to leave it buried. Not another victim. I took it from his uniform that he was a security guard there, just doing his job. His head had been severely beaten and his face was covered with blood. Ooh, that was a tone. Ooh. One of the lockers hung open. Its contents were tossed around like someone had been looking for something. Door was locked shut. There was a little electronic box under the handle. A sign was pasted to the front that said, "Danger, closed for repairs." It's a large power box with 5 lights on it. Cables burst out of the box, snaking off to other parts of the factory. Metal was starting to wear and cobwebs had collected in the corners. The box wasn't receiving power. That looks like a huge mess. Why are they all like twisted around within the room? That's nutty. No, let's go. I'll go back if I can. Door is locked tight. Seemed to be connected to the power box beside it. Alright, I guess I will go back now. No, I don't know. I thought I'd just tell my life story. Things are kind of sketchy right now. Every part of the plant smelled old and rotted. Notice the old bulletin board on the wall. Old bulletin board. Board contained yellow clippings of newspaper, cartoons, and notices. There were notes to and from the guys that worked here. One of them was to Norman, who was one of the older guys on the line. Sure. Our old break table. Layer of dust and grime only made seeing this sting more. Oh, limpy limp. No, I don't know. I don't even know what I'm trying to talk about. Hello? Power panel. Looked like it was shut off. Did I push the switch? Sure. Nothing? Did I try it again? Yes. There we go. The open locker was stuffed with dirty work clothes and old boots. There's a photo of a woman taped to the inside, but it was scratched out, and the face was unrecognizable. More power switches. Anyways, we're never getting in there. I can't pick up any key cards. Pretend that I had a horrible accident as a machinist. That's why I lost my job. Like, I have like no thumbs. I just have hook hands. Look at his hand. I have hook hands, and somehow I'm holding the light. That's it. Anyways, what I'm keep trying to say about the Twitch thing. Door been hastily boarded up. Goddamn gang keeps interrupting me with text to read. I don't know why I'm reading it all. No one's listening. No one's ever listening. It's gonna turn into a wine fest. That's why it's always the salt mines. It's Norm's locker. Door was ended like someone had punched it. I don't remember him doing that when we worked here. Cat, what are you doing? Cat, why are you always cleaning yourself? But then you always smell bad, because your breath is terrible. I'll reach over and pet you, interrupt you. Oh no, your cleaning is bad. I'm screwing it all up. Chili shelf crammed with mismatched tools and items. There's a claw hammer on the shelf. Did I take the hammer? Nope. Can't hold it. I have coke hands. Can't hold anything. I just have like the light stabbed through my hook. This whole place reeked of disuse and disrepair. What was I going to do with a hammer here? Rationalizing it to yourself. Locker was a complete mess. Hidden at the bottom though was a magnetic card. Did I take the card? Nope. There's a card in the locker. Take nothing. Seriously, cat, what's... Come on, kid. What are you doing? It's a complete silence, and all I do here is you licking yourself. Lick your ball somewhere else. Try it again. What? Really? Okay. Interesting. There's a goddamn audio cue, and I'm walking away to see if the panel lit up green. Power's back on, we can get out of here. Sound like you're taking those stairs pretty good for having broken legs. I don't know. Things are kind of rough. Like I keep saying. Power back's working. Power backs. The back's working again. The door is unlocked. Did I go through? Yes. Push the handle and step through the door. I really want to try and make a go of it, even if it's just for myself, but today's been, I don't know. Starting to wonder if like maybe I should just drop it all. Rack of flashlights hung on the wall, one of them was missing. Or was it? Maybe I'm returning it. Maybe I should put it back. Wait a minute. You're exactly the same as the flashlight I was carrying. Oh, I turned my own over and looked at the bottom. Judging by the label, it definitely could have come from that rack. Put it back. Leave everything behind. Stumble in the dark. Stopped noticing the dull ache in my leg when a terrible sensation wormed its way down my spine. Even in the cool night air, everything felt too close. I never felt alone or unmolested. I tried to tell myself it was just the sight of that dead guard that was throwing me off. The poor bastard looked like he had been done in while on patrol. It's a flashlight I carried his. It's like that. Now you're bothered by that? It's like your third dead body. How did I come to possess it then? As I looked around the wet yard, the light seemed less a blessing and more a mysterious omen. And to keep moving, though I had to find Rachel. Crunch, 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 crunch. Rusty old truck careened off the road and into the guardrail. Its front was crushed and its windows had all been smashed. Judging from the rust, it had been there a while. I don't know, I self-doubt. I still have this, having some problems with shit. I was actually thinking about trying to, do a stream and, I don't know, give away some Steam key codes, get some people in there, maybe make a little bit of money off of this. I doubt it would happen though, like, but I kind of still want to do it, even if it fails, just so I can be like, oh, I did it. I tried at least. Sounded like it was going to start raining again, but I just don't know. Like, just, you know, no one notices you. Kind of feel like you live in a vacuum because it doesn't feel like you interact with people. It's like, I don't even know how I have like 20 something followers on. I have like 8, 9 people on here. I have like 20 people that follow me on Twitter. Almost never speak to any of them. Like, I probably get lost in the shuffle. People have so many goddamn people they follow on Twitter and Facebook and... But... at an enormous place. This was the back of the store that he ran. It was oddly quiet except for the faint sound of a television. Let's go upstairs first. Well, that's not good. Find that TV and did Norman. TV still flickered some indecipherable channel. Oh my god, Norman, you look kind of like that other body I found. Oh no, couldn't believe what I was seeing. Norman, my coworker and one of the few friends I had in this town, lay dead beside his armchair. His face and shirt were covered in blood. Looked like he'd been killed trying to get up. His eyes were still wide with shock. Norman, you deserve better than this. Did I close his eyes? Yes. Wasn't sure if I wanted to give him peace or if I just couldn't stand to think anymore about what was going on. Quickly I closed Norman's eyes. I was technically not picking anything up. If anything, I'm putting things down, like fingerprints. Evidence. I guess this is Norman's kitchen table. He kept it clean enough, but there were water rings from 2 cups still there in the wood. Kitchen trash bin smelled fresh. I didn't dig through that mess, did I? No. Always I'm going to get myself even more disgusting and dirty. I don't need to dig through any shit. Let's see here. What was this? Looked like a pull chain hanging from the ceiling. I wonder where it led. Did I pull the chain? Sure. Gave the chain a single tug and a simple folding ladder to the attic popped down. What'd you have in your attic, dude? Is that another TV? How many TVs do you need? Are these nooses? Tiny nooses? No, that's about right, right? You could probably hang yourself. Newspaper clippings. What's this box? There's a large cardboard box that hadn't been sealed. Did I open it? Sure. Cellular cardboard box with a pile of clothes, photos, even shoes. I looked closer and realized they were Rachel's. Oh, snap! What are you doing here, Rachel? Were you responsible for poor Norman downstairs? I'm gonna jump to the conclusion most people would and assume that like Norman and Rachel were doing a thing. That's right, doing a thing. They're planning me a surprise party. My best friend and my lady friend planning me all the surprise parties in his attic with her clothes. I wasn't entirely surprised to find this early. There's one of Rachel's old fall coats. I was wondering what happened to it. How long had it been there? There's a well-maintained gun cabinet here in Norman's room. I didn't know much about guns, but it looked like he kept a few hunting rifles. I don't know. Maybe if I picked more popular games, or develop some sort of a personality, I could actually get like some traction. I just kind of do it because I kind of like the idea of talking to people, even though I'm terrible at it. And I'm actually like kind of socially like awkward. Sometimes I just straight up don't feel like being around people. I think everybody feels like that though. The entrance to the front of the store was locked from the inside. Looked like I couldn't just pop it open. I needed a key. There's a bit of blood on the keyhole. Of course there was. How am I gonna escape when I can't pick up a key? Mob drops some files on my stream. Really? Like the instant I post, the instant I start broadcasting. It's like pops in. Just pops in, says something about streaming. And then he's gone. It's like, really, guy? Really? Guess I'm gonna live in Norman's house now. I really don't know. I hope the hell Rachel had nothing to do with that mess. Couldn't make out what was on the screen, but that glow just gave me the chills. I'll turn it off. Let's just wander around the house now. No, I'm I don't know. I'm gonna do it at some point. I don't know when. But you already found Norman. Your dialogue is terrible. No. Start extending the sleeve. Oh no. Is it jisms? I knew Norman. Hunted occasionally, but I didn't know him to be such a collector. Something in the attic I missed, maybe? No, I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna give it the best try I can. I don't expect any success out of it though. I guess I've already like defeated myself, but you know, maybe I can get some help out. I just couldn't believe it. My head ached with everything that was running through it. Oh man. That's poignant. I feel that right now. I don't know anymore. Like, just doing what I can to keep going, you know, like everybody else does. Apparently, like, recording, like, having, like, some kind of, like, weird moment. Whatever, right? Never been to Norman's place before. Hold up a second. It's like, you're one of your few friends in town. You've never been to his house? At least I don't remember ever doing so. That's freaking weird. I didn't dig through that mess, did I? Yeah, we're gonna dig it. I found a hairpin amongst rotting food and trash and pocketed it. No, I picked something up, but I think I have to. It didn't even give me an option. But I don't see any, there's nothing else in here. I guess it's okay if I don't keep it, but I don't know. I don't know when to time it. I don't know. I don't know when to time the thing. Hairpin snapped in half, so I threw it away. Alright, cool. General store was small, but it was clean. It had the usual things: postcards, snacks, magazines, and canned goods. Never went there much. Rachel usually stopped by after work if we needed anything. Register was mostly empty, and a fat stack of travel magazines sat outside it. The icebox seemed to be unplugged. It must have been off for a while. Most of its contents were half melted. Only half? There are various postcards from the area, especially from the tourist traps. One of the postcards showed no black and white photo of the water tower. Looked to be in much better shape then. I don't know. It's like I tried doing Let's Play things, and that never took off. And I continued to take horrible turn after horrible turn. It's been weeks since I've last seen Norman, but to find him like that. Who could have done that to him? Seeing that dusty box with his old clothes was a shock. How long had they been there? And what was Rachel doing at Norman's place? Felt like I had only discovered more questions. No answers. but I was close to home. It's time to find out the truth. Time to find out the truth. What's over here? More TVs. More gates. More gates. More gates. Just peace out. Had the wrong gate. This one was locked. Alright. Oh, I guess I have the right gate now. So many TVs just strewn about everywhere. Jeez. Gates into gates? Neighborhood's local post box. The letter was sticking out as if someone had pushed all the way in. I knew it wasn't right, but did I look at the letter? No. The letter right where it was. Neighborhood mail wasn't my problem. I would have pushed that shit in there, but... It's raining and stuff. Someone's poor damn letter isn't gonna go anywhere. Bloody gate? I guess so. I had entered our backyard. The rain gave me a terrible sense of foreboding, and it chilled me through my bone, through my clothes. I was supposed to say chilled me to the bone. I was expectant, but also afraid. I'd love to see an overhead map of this area. Just gates into gates, and then fucking tallest picket fences. Weird stains on my yard. I held my breath as I approached our back door. I was terrified to step inside. House was painfully quiet. The only sound was my own breathing, ragged and strained. I flicked the light switch by the door. The power was off. Really? I remembered having breakfast here on this very table. Was that yesterday or sometime before? Oh my god, my house. Oh. Door to the basement. It was locked. Right where had I put the damn key? I can't even get in there. My hook hands won't let me hold the key. Locked out of my own basement forever. Door was stuck shut. There's an old-fashioned keyhole under the handle. Why is my house like so shit's locked? Our television. I'd purchased it before I knew I was going to lose my job. Felt pretty guilty about it afterwards, but by then it was too late. You couldn't return it? Like, no return policy? Also, we have dildo sticks in our house too? I'm sure it's supposed to be a lamp. Up the next floor. Books there were half mine, half Rachel's. Hey, now that I look more closely, it looked like the man in that house had some of the same books as I did. My wife's, Rachel's suitcase was sitting on the bed. It was closed, but I had a feeling what was in it. Did I open it? Sure. Rachel's suitcase contained clothes, toiletries, and a train ticket. Is this what you're going to do with Norman? So, that's not a surprise party. Our hallway mirror had been smashed, its pieces scattered around the floor. Our sink, which needed to be replaced, one of the taps always stuck, but I hadn't gotten around to fixing it yet. We were lucky enough to get a house with one of those wonderful old claw-footed bathtubs. Yeah, those things are great. They're huge. It's like, it's funny, because now that I think about it, people are probably way bigger on average than they used to be, but bathtubs are way smaller. It's like you can fit like 2 people in a bathtub. Like, now you can barely fit a person in a bathtub. I'm a bit on the large. I say that, but I'm tall. I'm above average height, I guess. Maybe I'm average height. I don't know. My laptop had been left on and only had a tiny bit of power left. On the screen was a website about the old water tower. There was a key in the top drawer of my desk. Did I take it? Nope. Didn't want it just yet. I needed to think. I'm not taking anything. Nothing. Maybe I'll do a run while I'll pick everything up. I'll just have guns and knives in my pockets everywhere. I'm gonna have to pick up that key, aren't I? Let's exhaust all the options. Oh wait, air's already in here. This is already the suitcase. One book in particular seemed a bit odd. I remembered owning it, but not that edition. Okay. I don't know. This, I keep putting it off. Cause it's like I want to do it, even if it doesn't work out. Rachel's pretty angry about that, I realized. With the TV, you could take it back. Why would you take it back? It's like I think I'm postponing it because I'm just... It's like I don't want to like do it and not have it work out, but I know it's probably going to work out pretty much like every other stream I've had. Except for the one. Which is funny, because that was like a Resident Evil 7 demo. I got like 60 people in my room. I guess that wasn't terribly successful, because even though I had 60 people in the room, I only walked away with like... I think that's where most of my followers came from, except for like people I know that are kind of like, you know, putting up with it. I don't know, it just feels weird. It's like, I'm sure people support me in my endeavors, but they just don't seem to pan out, and I just don't know that, like, it doesn't feel like I really have a lot of support in it. I have a hard time connecting with people. I don't know, I'm like going to... It's like some therapy shit. Let me talk to myself. I could pretend that people are like Herrick's. There's a key in the top drawer of my desk. Did I take it? Yeah, and read my whole thing. I pocketed the key. Not supposed to pick anything up, man. But I don't know what else to do. I don't know. Old-timey key. Basement. And unlock the basement door. Okay. There are old Christmas decorations in the box. Garbage bags are stuffed with old paint cans and supplies. There's a dirty old key here. Did I take the key? I didn't want to carry the filthy thing around. I'm not gonna take it yet. There are old clothes, tools, and other things we obviously hadn't thrown out yet. I put up this divider wall last summer so we could create a separate room in the basement. I hadn't finished it yet, so the door was stuck, and the drywall was poorly installed. I might have been able to break through if I found something heavy enough. I guess I have to take the key, right? Yes, I took the small key and tried to remember what it unlocked. It's the door upstairs. I'm sure it is. Hello! I'm gonna try acknowledging your existence and hoping that maybe you stick around for a moment. I don't know. We're about wrapping this run up, so... Oops, I went in the wrong door. Someone's watching me, so now I can make all the mistakes. Wait, no, okay. I didn't make a comment about unlocking it, so... It is the old door, right? Am I wrong? Nope, I'm getting confused. Twisted around. Was the next floor down? There it is, right? Yep, grimy key I found in the basement unlocked the door. Looked like the room had been tossed around. Furniture was a mess. Did someone break in here? How? And then they locked... Oh. They broke in, they left. Didn't break any windows. They came in the house, tossed the room around, left, locked it, went in the basement, threw the key down, locked the basement, threw that key on my computer. There's an old crowbar on the floor. Did I need to take the crowbar? No, we don't take anything. Hey, what's up, Manfred? I need it right where it was. I need more time to think. Gotta think before I pick up that crowbar. I need the crowbar, don't I? No, I can't pick anything up. It's incriminating. Lifted the heavy crowbar. Appreciated its weight. I appreciate you, crowbar. In this moment, I treasure you. Down to the basement. Tear a hole in the wall. Basement. Alright, let's tear that wall down. No. I can bring myself to see what's on the other side. It's the only way forward. I break through all the crowbar. Could I just leave? I just feel like, nope. Oh, but then I picked up the crowbar. Let's see what happens if I try the front door. Real quick. Real quick. Front door was locked from inside. I couldn't go out though. I needed to see if Rachel was here. I was about to say I thought he was going like it's locked from the inside. It's like you are inside. Alright, smash this wall down. With a heave, I swung the crowbar at the wall. I smashed a hole large enough to step through. As I stepped through the broken wall, my breath caught in my throat. This was it. Was Rachel down there? Was she okay? How did she get in there if she wasn't... if she was okay? That crazy Rachel sealing herself in basement rooms. Where apparently I hung all my conspiracy theory paperwork. Surprised there's not a dozen TVs down here. Oh no. Don't look. A filthy looking pile of rags had been dumped in the corner. The stench of them was awful and made my eyes water. I was terrified to even touch the pile to see what lay within, but I knew I had to. I had come this far. After all this searching, after all I'd seen. When I looked within the rags, did I finally find my Rachel? Did I find Rachel? That's the question, isn't it? I don't remember what I did last time. I think I was like, no. It's like, no, I'm not a murderer. I don't remember what I did last time. Sure, we found Rachel. It was worse than I could have possibly imagined. Within the folds of that rotten-smelling heavy fabric was a pale, dead figure of my darling wife. What struck me most was that she wasn't bloody or torn apart. Rather, she was covered in sickly green bruises, and her windpipe had been crushed. The real horror there was that whoever had killed her had done so intimately with bare hands. So this would have been gnawing in the back of my mind this whole time. This is what I was afraid of. I thought about all I had seen, and wondered if any of it could help me figure out who had done this. And when I couldn't stay there any longer, I stepped away on shaky legs and made my way back upstairs. Reluctantly, exhausted from my first journey, I could no longer resist the urge to close my eyes. What face? Am I waking up in a different... Oh. I guess I went to bed. Maybe I would use some of Rachel's travel books and find some place to go. Really? With the few broken pieces that remained of that mirror, I could see my face had grown pale and weak. Couldn't bear to look again. It was like I didn't actually expect a reflection. I felt empty and drained. Well, I mean, you know. I'm unsure where to proceed. Laptop had finally run out of power. Oh, fantastic. Hello, other... Oh. Oh. Well, I almost greeted you. Popped in. I still love the old-time charm of that claw-footed bathtub, though it seemed like cold comfort then. The emotes aren't showing. What faces for spooky things? Oh, okay, I get you. Yeah, normally I would have when I don't do PS4 games, I would usually have the chat open, but... So... Reflection in that grimy glass was only a shadow, a whisper. Go downstairs and make some breakfast and I'll feel better about, like, you know, things in my house. I should should put that crowbar back. My old office safe sat on the floor. I used to keep tax records and other important documents in it. I used the digital passcode lock, but I didn't have the code. Maybe I left it somewhere. Maybe on my laptop. Maybe it's scrawled in my basement on the wall. From now on, I'd have no one to get angry with me for stupid things like buying this TV. Are you literally coming to grips with, like, the dead wife in your basement? Like, well, now at least no one will complain about my TV. Seemed like I had seen all there was. Maybe I thought I was ready to go back into the basement. But I have to get into my safe. I should just leave. Is the kitchen back here? There'll be no more dinners here. No more chit-chat over breakfast. At least not for us. Must have locked the door. There's no reason to return to the backyard anyways. You just gonna go back in your basement? Yeah, I don't know if you've ever seen this before, but you showed up right at the end, basically. I'm basically doing the run where I don't pick up anything, and it actually went pretty fast, because they usually give you, like, hour and a half to get through the game. Now I'm meandering around. I'm gonna find that code and get in that safe. See how messed up this ending could be. That's a TV room where no one will complain about my TV. Oh, that's where I woke up. Now I'm just wandering around for no reason. That's the mirror. That's the same. What is this, a bathroom? I don't remember my own house. Quiet in that room unnerved me terribly. Guess we'll go back in the basement. Maybe she's got the code. I don't remember even being able to look at the safe before I went down to the basement. Let's go. Now that I stood there, I realized I couldn't go back into that room again. I had already seen too much. So why'd you want to go back in the basement? I needed to put an end to this situation one way or another. I knew it. I'm gonna have to find that safe. There's gonna be a gun in that safe. I'm gonna blow my own brains out, aren't I? Pretty sure last time I ran it, I was like, no, there's no body in here. No, my wife left. She just took off, left me behind. How do I get in there, safe? If I could find the code for the safe, maybe I could still open it. Yeah. Something's gonna be in that safe. If I was a safe code. In a horror game. Where would I be scrawled and in how many parts? How many other key items do I need in order to get that key item? God damn it, I've already been in here. Wait, hold on. No matter what, I need some kind of escape. No, there's nothing over here. Okay, so nothing in a book. Nothing on my laptop, right? I found some notes and loose paper in the drawer where I'd found the key. There's a yellow sticky note with an 8-digit code on it. Foreigner? Foreigner? I don't know. Sure, at this point. Could look like it might be for the safe, but what kind of phrase was that? Safe is down here, right? Code I found should have let me access safe. Did I try to open it? No. Didn't think it was important at the time. Really? Everything points to the safe. Yes. Code worked. Pulled open the small safe door and peered inside. There was a photo in there of Rachel and I when we had first moved to town. in it. We were smiling outside the front of the house, which looked like a real mess. We looked happy though. Odd, I couldn't remember who took that photo. Inside the safe was also an envelope. The front of it read, "Do not open until I tell you." I guess it was as good a time as any to see what was inside. Did I open the envelope? If I say no, you make me repeat all this crap. Let's just go. I tore open the envelope, removed the yellow line paper inside. On it was a letter written in a hand that looked familiar. Letter read, "I know this whole event had probably been pretty difficult. You can't imagine how hard it's been for me, too. Well, maybe you can. That isn't meant to be an excuse, but I hope you can better understand why I've done what I've done. Moving to this town seemed like such a dream, a quiet place to get established, to live out our lives, and to be together. But you know as well as I do that things quickly changed. Your drinking was one thing, but as you grew more distant, as you retreated into that world of yours, well, it's clear you didn't need me as much. In fact, maybe you never needed me at all, but it took all this to make you realize. In the end, though, you may never forgive me for this. You may never forgive yourself. But this is probably for the best." Wait, what? What? You'll be healthier for this. I'm just sorry it had to happen this way. As I said, you're coming in at the end, so you're missing some things where apparently she was seeing your friend and planning on leaving. I don't know in what order all that happened, but we had stumbled across a suitcase on the bed with a train ticket. And before that, we had found her clothes at another dude's house that we knew, where we weren't sure if, Now the problem is, like, where's this gonna end? I'm gonna hide in the basement, I guess, again, I don't know. I need to put it into this situation one way or another. Well, I'm confused now. I was waiting for a gun. I seriously was, but like, no. Like, I'm so remorseful. I can't recall when I last ate, but I wasn't hungry in the least. I must have locked the door. There's no reason to return to the backyard anyways. There's multiple endings in this game. And I'm unsure. I did the one where I was literally like, no, there's no body in the basement. And it just let me kind of leave out the front door. No reason to stay in that house. Did I leave, never to return? No. Felt like I had to think about it a bit more. There's got to be other ways to end it. Why would you? I don't know. Maybe I should do another run and pick up like every damn thing on the ground. Like, pretty sure I already messed up my... Just thinking about things like that made me sick with grief. So I am getting different dialogue, but I'll just go back to bed. Or I won't. I suppose I can go out the front door. I know there's other ways to end it, but I'm pretty sure that's what I did last time. I just kind of left. I should love this part of the house. Quiet room, terribly. Kind of implied that you killed her. It depends on the, you go through all this stuff and it's like, where you keep finding dead bodies and it's like, you're not terribly impressed except with the one where it's like, do I have your light? Like, you know what, let me end it, I'll start it back over. This time I'll pick up everything. Like, everything will be mine. Just stuff everything in my pockets. Rub my, like, fingerprints and DNA on every surface. Be like, yes, if I am the killer, it's everywhere. If I'm not the killer, it's gonna be hard to prove that I'm not. Yep. I'm an alky. Ooh. Did I leave, never return? Yes. I fucked off super hard. Living in this town hadn't been easy. The plan had helped in some way to stay grounded. Kept me in line, gave me something to do, and helped me get away from my past. When the factory closed, everything changed. I guess it was when I had started sleepwalking, disappearing for hours at a time. Really? Sleep? I had MRIs and piles of doctor reports, but nothing seemed to help, not even drinking. But I swear I tried to give it up, I know it. Sleepwalking never really went away, though. But I know Rachel had tried. I know she had tried to be there for me, even when everything was falling apart. This night had unearthed terrible truths, but I knew it was a final act of a long-standing horror I'd been living. Waking up in that house tonight was the final cruelty. I wish I'd remained unconscious in that room forever. Even the man I had found in that old place was a mystery. Why he was dead or who had done it to him was not something I could even begin to understand. Or why, for that matter. I was in the damn room in the first place. And what was hidden within those sewers I had found? The tunnel to the man's house obviously led there, but there was something I missed. Tangled mess of that horrible forest was an experience I'd never want to repeat. But going from that forest to the old plant was hardly a relief. Memories of that place. Painful just to think of it. There was something going on there I knew, but I was no closer to the truth. After the factory, I thought I might find some solace if I could just get to Norman's store. But all I had found were more horrors and more questions. Now that I really considered it, that's where I should have seen it coming. Norman was dead, but I had no idea what had happened to him. Finding Rachel's things at his store, though, had been the ultimate shock. I would get no answers now, but that didn't stop my head from reeling with questions. When I'd marched through the rain towards home, I desperately clung to the hope that this would end. And I guess in a way it did, but how could I have known how hopeless it all was? I started to feel as disoriented as when I sleepwalked. To think of it now, our house used to feel so lively, so warm. Coming into the kitchen, I felt only a cold, empty tension. Every terrible thought I had up to that point was suddenly a possibility, but nothing could have prepared me. My wife, dead, ruined, discarded. Rachel's death was a terrible mystery to me, one that would haunt me forever unless I did something about it. For what solace can a man take in the death of his wife? What comfort can be offered? Rachel had been taken from me, and I might never know why. Are you fucking kidding me? So I swung over the door, stepped out in the air. I caught the scent of wet grass and fog. Rachel, my beautiful wife, just thought of her again. Cold and inert, shook me from head to toe. What would I do now? Who could I turn to? It would only be a matter of time before the police got involved, before the neighbors knew. The front lawn was soft and giving beneath my feet, and I couldn't shake the urge that I shouldn't stand there, but rather I should run. And that's it. Why? Why'd you have to die? Okay. Oh boy. Internet just died. Oh no, you missed the end. Literally, like, did it cut off? Did you see? You didn't see any of that? Oh man. Buffering? Did buffering murder it? Home was dedicated to my wife, Nancy. Watch her back. Jeez. Well, let's run through it again and get a different ending. I don't know. Oh, my eyes. I'm sitting in a dark room. Ooh. Alright. Can be saved automatically at certain points. Hour and a half and complete home in a single sitting, which I just did. We'll do it again. I wonder if I got that trophy for not picking anything up. I probably didn't. Hello, person that just entered the room. We're just starting up a new run. We got to see if we're going to pick up everything now. Like, we're going to fill our pockets full of all kinds of incriminating evidence and just lay our fingers on every surface we can. We're going to make it as easy for the police as we can possibly do. All I remember at that point was finding myself alone. Oh, my head. Where was I? It was so dark. There's something by my feet. A flashlight. Made a joke on the last run that I couldn't pick anything up because I had claw hands, but now I have full hands. All 4 fingers and a thumb on both sides. So now we'll pick up everything that we can find. We're going to be a hoarder. Our full rich narrative on this run is that we're a hoarder. That house, where was I? Who dat? There's a body lying on the floor. Who was it? I didn't recognize his face. He was still kind of warm. Okay. Alright. Ah, cat, no. Jump scares. Dildo sticks. I don't know. I don't know. I mean, you keep saying that. It looks kind of like a condom. Open condom on a stick. Leaky roof. What do we got over here? Desk had a computer and some papers on it in a single drawer. I didn't want to snoop, but yes, we're nosy as fuck. Seats, pens, and a blurry photo look like a store of some kind. Why did this look so familiar? Blood on the wall. It smelled fresh and sickening. I realized there was blood on my shoes and pants. Oh man, I had to get out of there. Time to flee the scene. I noticed that I limped as I moved down the stairs. How did I hurt my leg, I wondered. All I could really recall was coming home, seeing Rachel. I was upset. She looked afraid. Shook my head and tried to clear it. I knew I should head downstairs, try to find a way out. I'm pretty sure we killed Rachel. The shelf was full of books on local history and hunting. Seemed like the owner of the house really knew the area. Hello again, other person that has come into the room, and welcome. That was a loud creak. Again, the vibration on the controller is what hits me most. I get those little starts. Oh, and gone again. An old dining table covered in dirty dishes for 2 people. There were dozens of beer cans and other liquor bottles among the dishes. Is this like my house, but then I wander back into my house later? The smell is turning my stomach. I don't know, it's weird. This is my drinking house. That guy wandered in. What do we got over here? Hello. Thin gray mouse was stuck in a trap. Looked frantic but exhausted. Did I free it? Sure, we'll get handsy with everything. More dildos. I'm sorry. That's condom stick. That's what it is. Collection of rusty tools. These look like they'd seen a lot of use and were caked in damp smelling dirt. Why weren't they in a shed? Maybe they tied the room together. What's this? Found a picture of a couple. Looked like it'd been moved a lot. There seemed to be a switch behind it. Did I push the switch? Of course I did. I gotta touch everything. To press smoothly into the wall, I heard a faraway click somewhere. That looks kind of like me. I'm being ginger racist apparently, and like every redhead is me. So, there are scribbles of all kinds of random scraps of paper and notes about some kind of water tower. Do you mean the one by the old train yard? How long had this been here rotting? The man upstairs didn't look like he'd been dead a long time. A black and white photo looked like the man upstairs and his wife. I guess there was no reason for me to keep this. Did I take it? Yes, I did. I need all the evidence. Slip the photo into my pocket. Maybe this would help me find some answers. Click, click, click. Alright. Let's go in the basement. Or downstairs. I don't know why I said basement. I look like hell. My clothes are dirty and torn, and there was mud caked all over my shoes. Ah, bangs. Door was taped up and seemed to be stuck. By the smell, I guess it led to the kitchen. Bathroom was spotless. Everything had been wiped to a sheen. I wondered if it was the man's wife who did the cleaning, or him. There's a photo development tray lying on the floor. Some leftover negatives were sticking out, but they were pretty blurry. Thought I saw what looked like treetops. Seemed odd that the tray had been left there, considering how clean the rest of the bathroom was. Front door was blocked by a pile of furniture. I knew I had to find another way out. There's no way I can climb over this. It's an impenetrable mass of furniture. Had I been sleepwalking again? Was that how I got to that house? You sleepwalked all the way upstairs? Oh man, who ripped the tape? There are sheets of paper all over the kitchen table. Looked like a series of names was written down, but they were too smudged to read. I could only make out a few of the notes. Key card, Ocker, last one I promise. Didn't make much sense at the time. What's up, mouse? What you doing? With the cartoon mouse hole. Hello, new person. Another new person. Switching the wall appeared to have unlocked the door. We're just wandering around this strange house. How are you doing? Oh, there's a box. Box looked heavy, but there were marks on the floor. It obviously been moved before. Maybe I had found a way out. I must have moved it, right? Yeah. Whatever we can put our fingerprints on. I heaved the box forward and it finally gave. To the basement. There's a ladder going underground where the box was. A dank smell rose from the passage. Did I climb down the ladder? Sure. Looking again at that photo I found in the house, the couple looked distant, like they didn't want to be in the same picture. I wondered where the wife was. My leg was in terrible shape, but I had to get out. Down into this cave with electric lights mounted in the ceiling. Footprints in the dirt. Look like more than one kind and a lot of traffic. Conspiracy theories. Places all over are marked on the old map of town. Industrial area near the river. Various houses and even the water tower near the old rail station. That's the second mention of that water tower. Newspaper clippings from the local paper. They were all about murders in town over the last few years. Wait. There were photos. Photos of our house. What the hell was that about? Maybe I should have looked around more, tried to find some kind of information. Stalker! Get out of here, stalker. A work table covered in papers, dirt, and a handgun. I hated guns. I didn't take it, did I? Of course you did. Tucked the small handgun into my pocket. Its weight was somehow reassuring. Here, look again. Why did I take the gun? It's called the trail of evidence. So dark down there, and the air smelled stale and putrid. Couldn't believe what I saw. What was this place? Seriously, what is this place? Some kind of homemade rack slung together with poorly cut wooden rope. It was caked with whole blood. Somebody didn't actually use that, did they? There's some hooks up there. Oh, wait, oh! Rusted hooks like the kind you'd find in a butcher. Hung from the ceiling, they look pitted and worn from heavy use. That man upstairs, did he do this? He found his creepy sex dungeon. Crudely made shells. They look like they were holding cans of some kind of corrosive. Label were worn and slick, but I could still see the warnings. This whole cave is full of warnings. Look like a cage? Small, but there's something coating the bottom. Something wet. I wonder what that could be. That place was getting worse all the time. I knew I had to keep moving. No, let's stick around. Let's check things out. What's over here? A desk. The desk looked old and was caked with grime. On it was a stack of old faded paper, covered with what looked like names. They were scratched out and illegible notes were written beside them in faded blue ink. I could only make out a few letters. Here, there, right, okay. Alright, none of it made any sense to me. Of course not. Oh wait, let's look at it. Nothing about Rachel or me was written there. Maybe I needed to keep looking. What's in here? Look at the bones! They looked to be bones half dug into the ground. The remains looked old. Faded clothes that stuck up amongst the dirt looked familiar. They looked like the clothes that woman was wearing in the photo I found. Was this the man's wife? Ooh! Now, not picking anything up makes this game really, like, vague, but picking up everything. I wondered, what would I have found if I had dug deeper? Go get the shovel from upstairs. See what else is in there. I got that gun. The smell in that room was like old grease and rot. I wasn't getting any closer to finding anything useful. I was getting more nauseated the longer I stayed here. I felt sick and weak, like I hadn't eaten for days. Man, you like double read everything. The slight fumes that still emanated from the cans made me dizzy. If you huff more, maybe you'll feel better. Don't do it. Don't do drugs, kids. More drippy ceiling. Some kind of old boxes. They look like they were years old. Wait a minute. These boxes had old clothes in them. Clothes I remember throwing out after Rachel and I moved to town. What the hell were these doing here? How do you remember old clothes that, like, I forget shirts that are hanging in my closet, for fuck's sake. If I was scared before, I was terrified now. Why were there photographs of our house there and these clothes? That's why I was was that why I was there? Seriously, I checked my back pocket and realized my wallet was missing. Then I got robbed too? Did I come to that house or did someone bring me? The mystery deepens. Seriously though, I have clothes in my closet I'm sure like forgot existed. Oh. Oh. Come back. Did you kill my wife? Answer me, swarm of bats. I remember noticing the broken ladder. I had to be careful. Just step right over that. Ooh. Hello. There's a rope hanging there. I wasn't sure how sturdy it was. Did I take it? Of course did. Maybe the rope would make the broken ladder easier to descend. Hello? Okay. Yeah. Yeah, like, I don't know. And pictures of my house. But yeah, like, apparently we threw clothes out and this person took them. Or maybe I brought them here. It could be my drinking house. I don't know. The rope I found would have let me climb down the broken ladder safely. Did I climb down? Yes. I could hear a faint hum and the smell from before started to get worse. This house has like an intricate series of caves underneath. It demands to be a murder house. Bunch of old newspapers, wheat pasted together. A message had been hastily smeared on it. Keep out. Danger due to cave-in. For who? Who is this? If this is like some guy's creepy like cavern system under his house for murder purposes, like it seems to be implying, why would you post up like your own message? You gotta remember, there's a cave-in. There's some audio cues. Most of the stuff in this that's creepy is like audio, like bumps and stuff. It's like jump scare shit. I could still feel a faint impression of the rope I had slid down as I pressed against the heavy metal door. It's probably for the best that I hadn't jumped. The ache in my leg was bad enough as it was. If I could have though, I would have run straight out of those awful tunnels. Who would keep such a place? At least I thought I had found that old handgun. It seemed to work, and from the smell of it, it had been used already. Oh great! I kept the gun in my pocket. It seemed a familiar weight there. More signs pointing to it being my gun. What's that up there? An exposed ventilation shaft. Maybe someone crawled through there? But it was so high up, that must have been a sore landing. Wait, so the tunnel came out into the sewers? There was dirt on the ground. It looked wet, and there was grass smeared within it. Okay. Ah, there's a similar dirt on my own shoes. Oh. So it seems to be implying that we're backtracking through all this crap. I could hear a faint trickling sound like water. What was that? Maybe water? We're in a sewer. It's probably sewage. Kitchen knife, covered in drying blood. Thinking about it made me sick. I didn't even want to touch it. Did I take it? Yes. Slipped the knife into my boot. Since I had the gun in my pocket, did I really need all this? I don't know. Maybe you dropped all this shit. Maybe you should pick it all up. Maybe I should... Random bang. Like I was saying. Door is locked. Musty smell from inside. What's this? I wasn't sure, but I thought it was some kind of regulator. I had no idea how it worked. Wasn't sure what those valves were for. Did I turn it anyways? Yeah. Just clank. Let's go over here now. Might as well get this done while I'm doing it. You turn it? Yes. I just have to put my hands on everything. Screwing everything up. Valve puzzles, no! It is done. So now I got like a boot full of knife and pocketfuls of gun. I'm leaving my handprints everywhere, just got a paw and everything. Let's go up the ladder, see what's up here. I literally just played all this stuff and Ooh. Oh. Disgusting. It was a mess of filthy garbage bags. There were rips and tears in most of the bags. It looked like an old videotape was sticking out. Did I take it? Yeah. Free videotape. Wasn't sure what I hoped to discover with the tape, but I took it anyways. Let's check the thing again. I did not want to keep digging through this mess. Alright. Good thing I went back. Let's see, exit. I'm curious about that, if there's any way to get that door open. This must smell from inside. Let me in. I gotta find out why it smells so musty in the sewer. Check the regulator mirror? Through the dust I could see handprints from previous use, probably from whoever worked in those sewers. Let's check the exit. Turning those valves must have drained the water that was in this room. There's a ladder I could reach. You didn't know there was water in this room. I never went in here. Shame on you, game. Assuming that I knew that thing. I'm seriously curious about that door, if there's any way to get in there. Or if it's just like flavor text. Let's see. I'm gonna assume that I can't get in there. Looked like the water drained out of that grate in the wall. I love how, I mean, before, yeah, I went in here and saw the water, but there's a small metal key floating in the water. Shallow pool of rancid water. Did I take it? Yep. Whatever gets my hands dirtier. Pocketed the small key, but it was so odd shaped I had no idea what it might open. Can I go back? Oh, okay, yeah. You know what? I don't remember, like, well, last time I didn't pick it up, but maybe that key opens that other door. Door's locked. There's a musty smell from inside. Really? Nothing? Alright. Right? Yeah, I don't know, like, the last run you came in on the end of, I literally was like, I'm not picking anything up, because there's some trophy. I'm like, if I'm playing, I might as well. Not that I care much about trophies, but I was like, well, let's see what happens. See if it plays out how differently. Safety poster, definitely seen better days. How old was that facility? What's in here? I can see a faint light within. More locked doors. Seriously, what is this key for? Hello? Maybe this door? Oh. There's a security camera in the room. There must have been a way to see what had happened. Maybe the VHS tape I found could be useful? Uh-oh. Found another dead body, a sewer worker. By the wounds all over his face and body, I figured he'd been stabbed repeatedly. There was a key ring sticking out of the man's pocket. Did I take it? Yes. Thought about the knife I'd found with some disgust as I carefully picked the keys from his pocket. I was almost worried he was going to grab me. I was feeling even more sick from seeing another dead man. I didn't want to get any more blood on my clothes. Well, let's go back and see what this key ring does. Maybe it gets everything. Let's wander all the way back and see if it gets us there. Backtracking. What do we got? Tried a bunch of the keys on the keyring I had found on that sewer worker, and one of them seemed to fit. Oh! I don't think I did this before either. I think I pretty much left the body, so. Wow! Collection of stale liquor bottles covered the floor. The wall was littered with dozens of old faded papers. Whoever did this was obsessed with some local murders. According to some of the clippings, bodies have been found in ravines in the forest, and in one case dumped in the back of an abandoned truck. Couldn't be sure, but I thought some of these same articles have also been pasted up back in those tunnels. Screw the wife thing. Am I a serial killer? A faded receipt was half trampled to the floor. It was from the local train station. It was for 2 tickets. I didn't know what use it could be, but did I keep the receipt? Yes. Remember, I'm a hoarder. I'm a kleptomaniac. I neatly folded the soiled receipt and slipped it into my front pocket. Did that sewer worker find this room? Is that why he was killed? Yeah, what's going on? That sewer... Oh, okay. Stay away from my stash of booze bottles in the sewer. I'll fucking kill you. Oh, jump scare. How dare you. Blood marks from where the knife was. Now that I'm carrying that gun and this knife, I was worried what the police might think if they saw me. Now you're worried about carrying a bloody knife? We know an end. Like, it's... There are a couple different endings. I don't know how much they vary, but... Yeah, like, strangely enough, that one didn't get me, like, nearly as hard as, like, some other things did when I started up today. Like, the whispering. The whispering in the one room with the skeleton got me really bad, but mostly because the controller vibrated when I did it. When I went in there, and that's what got me. I was like, oh. I used the key ring to unlock the door. We're gonna use that videotape on that camera, right? It's shelf full of security tapes was strictly organized, though covered in dust. Looks like the tape I found was the one that was missing from the shelf. Let's stop for a moment and appreciate that we're in a sewer, but they have a security camera and a room full of security tapes for a sewer. It's a sewer. There's a dusty VCR on the security desk. I wondered what was on that VHS tape I found. Did I play the tape? Yep. Oh no. The video showed a man right there in the sewers being attacked. The tape looked fuzzy and stretched like someone had tampered with it. Looked like that could have been two men. I couldn't stand to watch that video again. But it was all warped and you didn't definitively see anything. You're like, maybe there's two guys. Alright, well, things are getting complicated. There's another vent. This must have been the other end of that ventilation shaft. Whoever used it could have gotten past the flooded room with this. How did you know the room was flooded, huh? I didn't actually go in there at first. How do you know these things, protagonist? Would I need that gun or that knife before the end? Both weighed me down and aggravated my leg as I climbed that old ladder. Thought of that videotape still gave me chills. Who was it that didn't want to be seen? Was it the same person that hid all those clippings away in that locked room? Suddenly the awful smell of that sewer gave way to a pine-scented blast of fresh air. Is that the way I came in? That is, right? Lid had fallen on the entrance there and was stuck shut. Well, that's convenient. You hear, like, bubbling? Look at the eyes. No! What's waiting in the woods for me? Oof. That was shrill. Ladder. An old ladder leading up to an ancient water tower. Ladder needed to be extended so I can climb it. Did I extend it? Of course I did. Popped the latch and brought the ladder down. I don't know how I reached it. I just had my legs bad and I was pretty high up. I mean, what is that, like... Was that like double my body length? What's up? In a patch of smeared dirt and grass, there was a beat-up old wallet. Thought it was mine. Did I take it? Sure, free wallet. Slid that filthy wallet into my back pocket. I noticed it didn't contain any kind of gun permit. Because that's the problem. In fact, it didn't contain any cards or ID of any kind. I thought I should cover my credit card and driver's license at least. From the railing, I could see over the woods and down to the entrance to the sewers. Had I come through here before? If I did, someone definitely could have seen me. Shit, watching me from the background. Tried the little key I had fished out of the murky puddle in the sewers. It fit and it heaved open the rusty door. Really? The wind was picking up a bit. The night air had become strangely chilly. An awful lot of like glowing eyed things watching me from outside. What is this? What is this building? The old train station was quiet as a tomb. The only sound was that of the increasing wind buffeting the decrepit structure. Decrepit. Old train station, next to a water tower, next to a sewer entrance. Out in the woods, maybe? This is a leaky ass place. What are we gonna find in here? Let's go to the left first. What do we got? Don't think I ever found the train station before. An old ticket booth that looked fairly ruined. Inside the ticket window were sheets of paper and... Wait, what were these? Train receipts? Thought the receipt I had picked up might match these, but of course not. The station had been closed for years. Ticket must have been for the newer station that opened up on the other side of town. After this one was abandoned. So... Okay. However, I noticed a series of fresher looking paper covered in tiny notes, scribbles, and diagrams. Well, looked like someone had been leafing through the old ledgers looking for something. A name, perhaps? Okay. Seems weird to have a train station out here when it's like there's nothing else around it. Well, the water tower, but... An old map encased in glass hung on the wall. It was the train routes connected to that old station. As I looked at it, it seemed familiar. Of course, the map I found in those tunnels had similar locations marked, and the notes I found on the other man's bookshelf. These notes mentioned the water tower and even this train yard. What was he doing coming back here? The sorry condition of that place seems sad somehow, but also ominous. What is going on? Are we like setting up for like some other guy to be a murderer? But then in that case, like, I mean, like, why were we in the house? How did we get there? Ooh, what's this? Old train was ripped open, and hanging from a shred of metal as well as the broken fence was a dark stained patch of cloth. It looked synthetic, like some kind of outerwear. Inside the train shell I could see a few faint impacts like wounds. Could they have been bullet marks? Was someone shot there? The ground was well worn though. I couldn't really make anything out. I realized I was touching the gun I had found as I thought. It's getting colder out there and I had to keep moving. That's it? That's all we're going to talk about? So this is all a side area. Because of my no pickup run, I didn't come in here at all. But it doesn't look like there's much in there except more questions. I keep looking up because I'm waiting to... Do we go over here? Nothing? Ooh. Ooh. God, that's shrill. This must have been the entrance to the forest that was mentioned on that map I had seen. Whoever was poking around in those tunnels underneath that man's house had scribbled notes on this place, but I couldn't make them out. Here, the sign pointed out various campsites and walking paths within the woods. Mentioned a river and maybe a washroom, but the rest was too faded to see clearly. The woods always makes me laugh on this because it's literally like, this is a path, but it's like, let me push through this brush and pop out the other side. Like 5 feet away from each other, but then, ooh, what's this? Trampled in the dirt and grass was a plastic card of some kind. I brushed it off and was surprised to see it was my credit card. Wasn't sure if it was still usable, but it was mine. Did I take back my credit card? No, we left it here. Pocketed the credit card. Hopefully I could find my driver's license too. Through the fence I could see a dilapidated outbuilding. I wonder if I could find my way around. Probably. Let's go through here. I'm gonna get lost. I want to poke around everywhere. Ooh, what's this? It's a fire pit there. Still a bit warm and a few embers still burned at the bottom. 2 folding camping chairs are on the ground. One was knocked over. There are a couple of cans of beer smoked on the ground. Cheap dome tent. Ugh. Slept through 2 people. Alright, it's all just coming apart now. Like my brain's just... Show my flashlight inside. I could see some bedrolls. 2 backpacks and a cooler. Abandoned campsite. Whoever was here left this place in a hurry, but why? Oh boy. Felt like if I kept rooting around through the campsites, I would walk in on me. Was someone else out in these woods? Why did they abandon their campsite? Alright. Which one did I come out of? Oh boy. Let me go through this one. Okay. So the middle one was definitely not the way I wanted to go. Oh, found my way to that building, I guess. Scurrying around in the woods in a circle. Grimy sink had a small patch in it that looked almost clean. There wasn't much in the way of clean water there, but the sink did work. I was waiting for that clean patch to actually mean something. A musty wooden plank propped up the stall door. It didn't really seem useful. Did I bother to take it? Yes, we take everything. Wasn't sure why, but I took the plank. Because you have sticky fingers, my friend. You can't help it. It's a compulsion. Just have to pick everything up. I need everything. Wait, did it? Wait a minute. Sign was the same as the first one I'd seen. This must have been the exit to the other side of the woods. I don't want to go there yet. I want to go wander around in the woods. Alright, damn it. There's a campsite. Right there. Middle one? No, not the middle one. I don't think. I need the far side, right? Oh, here's where I get lost. Nope. Alright. Let's go this way. Buckle down for the 2 hours it takes me to get through this. Joke. Dirty old picnic table sat lonely amongst the trees. It had carvings and marks from years of previous campers. I tried to read some of the marks. I idly thumbed the knife I'd found. If I wanted to, I could have carved something on that table, did I? Yeah, sure. With a few crude strokes, I etched a simple design in the woods. R plus H. I felt like a teenager defacing the table. It's funny because I made a mention on my last run where I was like, oh, if I had taken that knife, I could have carved something on the table. People's weird compulsions to carve shit into furniture. What's this? Plank I found was long enough to form a crude bridge, but I wasn't sure if it would hold. Did I use it? Yeah, why not? Was that it falling into the river? That's a musical cue. Holy shit. 2 bodies. 2 young women were half dug into a hasty shallow grave between the trees. God damn it. The younger looking one was still face up, her dead eyes gleaming against my flashlight. They deserve better than this. Did I clean up the gravesite? Yes. Tried to cover them up a bit more, and I closed the young woman's eyes. I fashioned a crude marker. It seemed better than leaving them the way they were. Oh my god, okay. These girls the owner of the campsite? What were they doing way out here? Camping, apparently. Getting murdered? How did they get over here? How did I get over here with them if I'm the murderer? I cross back over to the shore? Yes. It's been a busy night, apparently. Read some of the other names and notes on the table surface. Rytron, Kumar, Uncle Phil, Henry, Daniel, David, Jenny. Seemed like the table had seen a lot of use over the years. How many corpses are we up to now? 1, 2, 3. The wall skeleton. 4. Oh man. It's a lot of dead bodies on my way back home. Okay, alright, let's think we've found everything maybe, I don't know. Okay, we're back here. Getting lost in circles. Oh, there was a vibration and I heard some things. What's going on? Who's chasing me? What's this? There's some personal effects shoved back into the rock. Wait, there's a notebook there too. Did I read it? Yep. Inside the cheap dollar store notebook was page after warm page of names and lists. None of it made much sense. The newer page contained several names. Heather, Olivia, Ashley, Cheryl, Iris, Daphne, Holly, Rose, Rachel. They're all ladies' names. Rachel? Her name was last on the list and had a mark beside it in blue ink. Names Daphne and Olivia have been crossed out in the same blue ink. Oh man. Cheryl, Heather, and Rose had also been crossed out, but these marks looked older and more faded. Oh man, really? Okay, I don't know if it's us still, but it's definitely turning into some serial killers. Holy crap. Things are getting rough. Alright, alright, the other way. Oh shit, oh shit indeed. Oh man. Did I say anything else? Just died out over time. Olivia, Daphne? The inside of that tent was suffocating. You think that maybe at this point he would check to see if there's anything in there to like substantiate like the notebook and everything? I don't need to go there. Couldn't stop thinking about those poor girls. Couldn't figure out on the map here where their campsite was. The police would have to search again in the daylight. Lizzie's actually thinking about contacting the police. I finally found the exit once I left. I knew I never wanted to return there. Forest started to thin out a bit, and through the trees I could make out parts of the town beyond and the first hints of light. Mysteries of that forest were behind me, but I could still feel them on my neck like a warm breath. Those girls I had found. Someone had taken them from their campsite and had murdered them. Was it the same person who had left the odd notebook? I was even more eager to get somewhere safe and to find a way to reach Rachel. Because the last ending implied that we were like alcoholic strangler of your wife. Like now it's like God knows what's going on. Walk down the path. Where are we going to wind up next? What's on the other side of the woods? As I stepped through the gate, I suddenly recognized the auto parts factory where I had worked as a machinist for all those years. The plant had closed almost 3 years ago now. Times were better then. Thought I could hear a faint rustling behind me. Maybe it was just the wind. Oh, I see some buildings in the background. That's a better. What's this hole? Oh! God damn. Found the body of a security guard. Yeah, that is weird. Well, it kind of implied if there is another guy or if it's us, we're kind of stalking people because they had pictures of our house, and he had our clothes that we threw out. Clothes that I oddly remember throwing out. Sir found the body of a security guard just doing his job, no doubt. His face was covered with blood from some kind of head wound. I wondered, was his flashlight his? Why would you immediately assume the flashlight you're carrying is his? What do we got here? Dug into the ground was a cracked old watch. First my wallet, now this. That I retrieved my watch. Yes, the watch was useless, but I put it on my wrist anyways. What is going on? I wished I could remember why was all my stuff missing. Why is it around murders? I don't know what could be happening. Saw the blunt wound on the guard's head and looked again at the flashlight I was carrying. Oh no, please. Oh man, you're starting to realize something's wrong. More so than the fact that he knew the names, it's the idea that he has a long list of them. All this premeditated crap. Ooh, there's a little jump for you. One of the lockers hung open. Its contents were tossed around like someone had been looking for something. Door was locked shut, and there was a little electronic box under the handle. A sign was pasted to the front. It said, "Danger, closed for repairs." It's a large power box with 5 lights on it. Cables burst out of the box, snaking off to other parts of the factory. Metal was starting to wear and cobwebs collected on the corners. Box wasn't receiving power. Ooh, spooky. Ooh. I'm playing it in a dark room. I'm not terribly spooked, but it's getting interesting. I do appreciate all that. Doors locked tight. Seem to be connected to the power box beside it. Oh, it's still white. Old work clothes have been picked through, and a few photos and notes have been ripped off the door and spread around. I gotta remember to read everything twice. I didn't even realize it had more than one run of flavor text, so every part of this plant smelled old and rotted. I noticed the old bulletin board on the wall. Board contained yellowed clippings of newspaper cartoons and notices. There were notes to and from the guys that worked here. One of them was to Norman, who was one of the older guys on the line. Norman took over a general store after the factory closed. He, Rachel, and I would get lunch every now and then. Rachel liked him because he seemed more positive despite the setback. I don't think I could say the same about me. What's over here? Our old break table. Later of dust and grime only made seeing this thing more. Look like some beer bottles have been used on the table recently. I wondered, was that guard using this as a break room on his own? Why do you ever... Wait, if this plant is abandoned... and it's like been abandoned as long as he said, why do you have a security guard stationed in an abandoned plant, auto parts factory, whatever? It seems odd. Door been hastily boarded up. Oh, there's that metal door down again. This was Norm's locker. Door is dented like someone had punched it. I don't remember him doing that when we worked here. My head ached and I recalled the last time Norm and Rachel and I had lunch together. Rachel seemed so much more at ease when we were all hung out. A power panel. Looked like it was shut off. Did I push the switch? Sure. That's a huge switch, by the way. It's like the rest of it seems pretty grounded, but like that the switch puzzle like seems really weird and out of place. Utility shelf crammed with mismatched tools and items. There was a claw hammer on the shelf. Did I take it? Yes, of course I did. I took the hammer. I noticed it wasn't as dusty as the rest of the tools on the shelf. Mismatched tools and items. There was a claw hammer on the shelf. Did I take? Wait. Yeah, I took the hammer. Wait, why did it repeat? Let's see what's in here. Locker was a complete mess. Hidden at the bottom, though, was a magnetic card. Did I take it? Oh, key card. Put the key card into my pocket. It made a loud clicking noise when I did it. Another panel that I hope could get me back, get the power back on. Switch. Nope. Interesting. Okay. I'm not sure how that works, but alright. Alright. Okay, so we have a hammer, so we can go into that boarded up thing. I struck with the hammer. The old wooden boards came apart easily. After I had removed the planks, I left the hammer on the floor. Psychically, I knew that that key item was no longer useful, so I tossed it aside. This was my locker, there in the factory. It stank of booze. There was a picture of Rachel on the inside. It looked like it had been torn up. I thought I had taken that picture home when the factory closed. This room was nothing but bad memories. There's a mess of empty booze bottles. I wonder if that man in the house had something to do with this. Really? What? He sure had a lot of alcohol at his place. You just said your locker smelled of booze, dude. This is getting... I don't know if I'm like assuming that he's talking about a man and we're talking about ourselves and we're just too deluded to understand what we're doing. I really don't know. Did we go in here yet? Yes, we did. Oh no, we didn't. Another panel that I hope could help me get the power back on. Switch. I do that every time. Like there's an audio cue, but for some reason I step away to see if the light came on. Open locker was stuffed with dirty work clothes, no boots. There's a photo of a woman taped to the inside, but it was scratched out and the face was unrecognizable. That's creepy. Woman's photo. I knew I had to get it back to Rachel to find out what happened. Another panel that I'd hope could get me. Okay. Oh, what's this? Keycard I found seemed like it would pass through this reader. Did I use a keycard? Sure. Slid the card through the old reader and turn the handle. Didn't do this before because I couldn't pick anything up. What is... There's some kind of ventilation hatch there. It looked like I could jump to the room below. My leg hurt enough as it was, but I couldn't see another option to jump. Hold on a second. There's two chicken to jump down the broken ladder before. What do I do now? There had to be another way. Let me... Really? Well, I guess I'm going down. Speed lines, my leg. Oh man, my leg hurt like hell. Bottom of the ventilation hatch hung open. It was pretty high up. I wasn't sure if anyone could have gotten back up there. But you got that ladder down on the water tower, and that was easily, like, as high. If... There's a crumpled up letter on the floor. It had been scratched out heavily, and it was hard to make out. Did I try to read the letter? Of course you did. Most of the letter was violently scratched out with what looked like to be a ballpoint pen. All I could make out was this: need to. Just don't. Drinking. Need. Norman. Who was Norman writing to? Was Norman writing to anyone, or was someone writing about Norman? Excuse me. Stepped out of the factory, glad to be rid of its smell, of its memories. I couldn't stop thinking about that room with the bottles in it. So this is like an alternate exit, because you turn on all those light things, and that's another way out without actually finding any of this stuff. I couldn't stop thinking about that room. Was that guard I found outside really drinking up there? What about Norman? And who had rooted through all those lockers, besides me? Couldn't tell where I was as I looked around, but I figured I needed to get to a road to get my bearings. Maybe Norman could help. His store wasn't that far from the turn off to the factory, if I remember correctly. But you're not sure where you're at, so... Back outside. Got a little bit more of a limp. I'm moving a little slower. Nothing there. Hole in the fence. Before I fired it up today, I haven't played this in like over a year. I forgot most everything, except for the fact that I was like, no, there's no dead body in there. No, I'm leaving the house. Everything's fine. Garbage bin was a disgusting mess of rotten food and slick black bags. I saw a thin greenish corner poking out from one of the bags. It was my driver's license. It looked damaged. Did I take it back? Cleaned the card off as best I could. It looked pretty beat up. I was amazed to have found my credit card, and now this. That is pretty amazing, unless you sort of knew that it was in there, because you just randomly went into a dumpster. Oh, I found my license. Tucked the card into my wallet next to my credit card. You said you put your credit card in your pocket. You didn't say you put it back in your wallet at all. Game ruined. Immersion. Sounded like it was going to start raining again. Check that dumpster. What's in that? Wait. It's like out in the woods. And then I went through a hole in the fence. Alright, no, I went through a door, right? Hole in the fence, then through a door. Maybe? I had entered Norman's place. This is the back of the store that he ran. It was oddly quiet except for the faint sound of a television. Well, now we're in Norman's house. Entrance to the front of the store was locked from the inside. Looked like I couldn't just pop it open. I needed a key. There's a bit of blood on the keyhole. Of course there's blood on the keyhole. Why wouldn't there be? Alright, where's Norman? What the hell? One of Rachel's old autumn coats hung on a rack. That was Norman's bedroom, wasn't it? What was this doing here? Uh-oh. A speck of something dark and wet stained on one of the sleeves. Is it jisms? Sorry. Inside the cabinet was a small but impressive collection of hunting rifles. Shotguns and even a few items I didn't think were legal here. One of the slots on the rack was empty. The gun I had found seemed to match the others there. Oh, really? If the handgun was Norman's, what the hell was he doing with it? The gun would fit there. Did I place it back on their cabinet? Now I'm not sure if I want to or not. Should I replace the gun? I still have the knife, don't I? Am I going to need the gun? I don't think I will. Let's put the gun back. Carefully pushed the piece back into place and felt the great burden lifted. Can I pick it back up? Norman, what are we doing with all these? So Norman's gun that had been fired. The wife's jacket with like dark stain on it. I don't know why that's so funny. Oh boy. Well. Oh. What was this? Looked like a pull chain hanging from the ceiling. I wonder where it led. Did I pull the chain? Sure. Gave the chain a single tug and a simple folding ladder to the attic. Pop down. We're going into this guy's attic. There's a TV. clothing and more conspiracy theories all over the walls. That looks kind of like a lamp giving off light, but it doesn't, so I'm not sure. There's a large cardboard box that hadn't been sealed. Did I open it? Sure. Old cardboard box was stuffed with... Wait, they were Rachel's things. Old clothes, photos. What were these doing in Norman's place? Wow. And where was Norman? I had to find him. What is going on? Why? I couldn't remember if we had given these to Norman for safekeeping or something, but why would we? Yeah, why? But at the same time, why would she, like, store shit? If you're... Let's assume that an affair is going on. If you're having an affair with someone, do you really take, like, a man-sized cardboard box of your things over to their house? It's like, I know we're doing this thing, but could you store all this stuff? Like, I have a house where it won't be incriminating, but I feel like I need you to have this here, you know, so it's incriminating. TV still flickered some indecipherable channel. Couldn't make out what was on screen, but that glow just gave me the chills. Oh. Oh. I'm assuming that you're Norman. Oh no, I couldn't believe what I was seeing. Norman, my co-worker and one of the few friends I had in this town, lay dead beside his armchair. His face and shirt were covered in blood. It looked like he'd been shot trying to get up. His eyes were still wide with shock. I had that gun and it had been fired. Norman, you bastard, what were you doing here with Rachel? Did she do this to you? Did you hurt her? Are you seriously assuming that your wife shot him? Norman, maybe you deserve better, maybe not. Did I close his eyes? Sure. Gently I pushed his eyelids down. I wasn't sure if I wanted to just give him peace or if I just couldn't stand to look at him anymore. He really went there. Like, Norman, did you make my wife shoot you? How dare you? I guess this is Norman's kitchen table. He kept it clean enough. But there were water rings from 2 cups still there in the wood. They found the jacket cabinet. I was like, what were you doing here earlier? And I was like, they're planning a surprise party for me. Kitchen trash bin smelled fresh. I didn't dig through that mess, did I? Sure. I mean, like, freaking, you're already, like, touching all the corpses and all the guns and shit. Found a hairpin amongst rotted food and trash and pocketed it. Hairpin equals lockpick. Oh, man. No, bro. Why? Why would you make me do this, Norman? You look like you're a huge guy. Like, he's crumpled. If he was standing full up, he'd probably, like, dwarf me. I don't know why I'm, like, realizing that, but... Did I go over here yet? Oh yeah, the stained jacket. How dare my wife shoot you in cold blood? All of us turned talking with her. I used the hairpin to pick the lock. The hairpin snapped in half, so I threw it away. The general store was small, but it was clean. It had the usual things. Postcards, snacks, magazines, and canned goods. I never went there much. Rachel usually stopped by after work if we needed anything. Register was mostly empty and a fat stack of travel magazines sat beside it. Wondered if someone had robbed the place before killing Norman upstairs. Wow, you're just jumping to all kinds of conclusions. Holy crap. Did Rachel kill you? Did Rachel, like, rob you and then kill you? Did a person sneak in here and leave jizz stains on my wife's coat that she planted here? The icebox seemed to be unplugged. It must have been off. Most of its contents were half melted. God damn it. What's the matter, Norman? Cheated on your hydro bills too? Okay, now that's the most on the nose thing that he said. You cheating with my wife? Like, that's the first time he's, like, even uttered anything. That's a little more like it. That's probably where I would jump to conclusions. There were various postcards from the area, especially from the tourist traps. One of the postcards showed an old black and white photo of the water tower. Looked to be in much better shape then. All the postcards, that one seemed to be the most popular. There were only a few left. Okay. Been weeks since I'd last seen Norman, and finding him that way still left me cold. Thinking I was slumped against that chair only cemented my reassurance in getting rid of that gun. Looked like someone had taken that piece from his store. But why was it in those tunnels? As I stepped outside, I recalled that dusty old box of clothes in Norman's attic. Felt like I'd only discovered more questions, no answers, but I was close to home. It's time to find out the truth. I could kind of see someone like... It was locked, this wasn't the right gate. I can kind of see someone just trying to deny stuff until like it's just right in their face, but the TV. Gate was locked tight. It was one in my house. Stop trying all the gates then. Yeah. This gate led into another alleyway. That's what? There's another TV? What's this? Neighborhood's local post box. The letter was sticking out if someone hadn't pushed it all the way in. I knew it wasn't right, but did I look at the letter? Yes. We can't help ourselves. Envelope was addressed to Norman. There was no return address, but the handwriting looked familiar. I took a deep breath and tore open the package. It was a package or a letter? Norman, I'm sending this to you in a letter because I'm afraid to tell you this in person. What we did, well, was wrong. My husband isn't an easy man to be with, but he is my husband and your friend. I need some time to sort this out away from you both. I'm going away for a while. I'm going to tell him, Norman, so don't you think you can hold that against me. Maybe we'll work it out. I'm not sure I even want to, but he deserves at least that much. Goodbye. Huh. I didn't know what to think. My mind was racing, my heart pounding. I had to get home, I just had to. So some infidelity. And Rachel was planning on leaving to get some time to figure things out. But god damn it. Had the wrong gate, this one was locked. Try every gate. Oh wait, I'm gonna go over here first. What's going on over here? Nothing? Everything? I had entered our backyard. Rain gave me a terrible sense of foreboding, and it chilled me through my clothes. I was expectant, but also afraid. I held my breath as I approached our back door. I was terrified to step inside. The house was painfully quiet. The only sound was my own breathing, ragged and strained. I flicked the light switch by the door. The power was off. I remembered having breakfast here on this very table. Was that yesterday? Or sometime before? Is there anything above? My house's soundtrack sucks. It's like so foreboding. Oh, what's this? There's a small pile of mail on the floor in front of the mail slot. How long had I been waiting? Why didn't Rachel pick this up? This wasn't here on the last run. Most of the contents were bills. There was a credit card bill there. Did I open it? Sure. I ripped the bill open and read it. To my surprise, it said something about canceling my credit card due to non-payment. What the hell? Yeah, that pile of mail wasn't there before, so that's different. I'm really wondering. Now I have no idea where this is going. Door was stuck shut. There's an old-fashioned keyhole underneath the handle. Am I gonna find the suitcase? Or is she gonna have left? Oh, I found the last missing piece from my wallet. The old photo of Rachel and I stare back at me, reminding me of better times. Didn't make me feel terribly comfortable. Did I keep it anyways? Yeah. Placed a photo in my wallet, feeling like I got part of my life back. Still, the image made me uneasy. Why had I thrown it away? Because she told you? There's another dildo tree. And our TV I purchased before I'd known I was going to lose my job. Felt pretty guilty about it afterwards, but by then it was too late. How's it too late to return your TV? You bought it, you lost your job, you take your damn TV back. There's nothing wrong with it, right? Where'd you buy your TV that they didn't take it back? Rachel was pretty angry about that, I realized. They should return the TV. Yeah, this is getting interesting. Alright, wait, no, we can't do that. So. Ooh, broken mirror. Our hallway mirror had been smashed, its pieces scattered around the floor. Couldn't really make myself out anymore, I wasn't sure I wanted to. Our sink, which needed to be replaced. One of the taps always stuck, but I hadn't gotten around to fixing it yet. We were unemployed, why couldn't you fix the damn tap? The old house was charming for sure, but it wasn't always easy. Let's just sell them more. We were lucky enough to get a house with one of those wonderful old claw-footed bathtubs. Oh, I love those things. It seemed impractical at times, but it was part of what made that house home. It's kind of weird, like, I'd say on average people are like bigger now, usually, but bathtubs seem to be smaller. So it's like old bathtubs, I don't know if you've ever seen one of those old claw-footed bathtubs, but they're freaking huge. You can fit like 3 or 4 people in that bathtub, depending on their sizes, and now it's like in my house, I could barely fit myself in the bathtub. I'm like too tall for it. Enough about bathtubs. What we got in here? My laptop had been left on and only had a tiny bit of power left. That's a good laptop battery, considering you implied that you hadn't like picked up your mail in like I don't know how long. On the screen was a website about the old water tower. What's up with the old water tower? It didn't mention that before. There was a key in the top drawer of my desk. Did I take it? Yes. Pocketed the key. That freaking water tower keeps coming up. Laptop was warm. It had been running for a while. The last time I said, like, the battery's like, damn, what's going on? Things have changed. I got a key. I didn't go in the bedroom. I'm really curious if the suitcase is going to be on the bed. Books there were half mine, half Rachel's. Hey, now that I look more closely, it looked like the man in that house had some of the same books that I did. What does that even mean? One book in particular seemed a bit odd. I remembered owning it, but not that edition. What is going on? There's a suitcase. My wife's, Rachel's suitcase was sitting on the bed. It was closed, but I had a feeling what was in it. Did I open it? Yes. Inside Rachel's suitcase were a few days worth of clothes, some personal effects, and a train ticket. That's the same. As I stared at the ticket, I could feel myself flush with anger and resentment. The date and time matched the receipt I had found. What is going on? Rachel, why? Were you really going to run away with Norman? Was I really such a monster? You know that's not true, because you found that letter to Norman. So, I don't know why you're assuming that. Obviously stuff had been going on. Like inappropriate stuff. Where am I going now? Oh wait, I got that key. I'm going in circles, damn it. Lost in my own house. Wait, was that the... damn it. How's the door? There's an old-fashioned keyhole underneath the handle. Into the basement. There are old Christmas decorations in the box. Garbage bags are stuffed with old paint cans and supplies. There was a dirty old key there. Did I take it? Of course I did. Took the small key and tried to remember what it unlocked. There are old clothes, tools, and other things we hadn't thrown out yet. I put up this divider wall last summer so we could create a separate room in the basement. I hadn't finished it yet, so the door was stuck, and the drywall was poorly installed. I might have been able to break through if I had found something heavy enough. Alright. That sounded weirdly odd. Did that sound weird? It almost sounded like a door had opened to the side. I don't know. Might be hearing things funny. Grammy key I found in the basement unlocked the door. It looked like the room had been tossed around. Furniture was a mess. Did someone break in here? So the safe, yeah, the safe, like, you pick the crowbar up. There's no crowbar on the floor. Did I need to take the crowbar? Yes. Heavy crowbar, I appreciate its weight. We come back in here later, or in the last run, and there was a safe there, and like the safe appears after? Because I didn't remember the safe before. Oh boy. Okay, so now the real question is, what do I want to find in the basement? Did I break through the wall with the crowbar? Yes, I did. Heave, I swung the crowbar at the wall. I smashed a hole large enough to step through. As I stepped through the broken wall, my breath caught my throat. This was it. Was Rachel down here? Was she okay? Don't look. Getting some Silent Hill vibes off of the soundtrack. It's getting some of that industrial grind going. Don't look. Okay. A filthy looking pile of rags had been dumped in the corner. The stench of them was awful and made my eyes water. I was terrified to even touch the pile to see what lay within, but I knew I had to. I'd come this far. After all this searching, after all I had seen, when I looked within the rags, did I finally find my Rachel? I'm curious both ways. And if I say no, is it like, will it actually be like, no, she's not in there? Or will it be some weird delusional shit where it's like, no, there's like, I didn't see anything. Ah, does it save? I'm not sure what to answer. Found all that evidence. None of this explains shit. Yeah. I don't know. If it saves, I could go back and check the other one. Let's try... I said yes last time. Let's try no and see what happens. The rags were wet, matted, covered in dirt and grime, but inside that tattered mess was no sign of my beloved wife. Rachel wasn't there. I looked around in confusion, trying to figure out what to do next. If she wasn't there, where was she? What had I been searching for this entire time? I remember the look on Rachel's face when I came home, didn't I? Then the awful realization hit me right in the gut. I've been looking at this the wrong way, hadn't I? This is what you've been trying to tell me all along, isn't it? I couldn't find Rachel there, and I won't find her anywhere else because she was never there at all, was she? What? I stumbled back upstairs, the pain in my leg just a dull ache now, and sat down in my bedroom. So, I'm a delusional man that my mind was spinning in the ache I felt before was near crippling. Finally, I could no longer fight the exhaustion, and as I tried to grab hold of something that would make sense of all this, I must have drifted off. So is that implying that, like you never had a wife? And all this stuff scattered around? But what? This is a suitcase! Which is gone, but... I guess these books were all actually mine then. What, really? My head was pounding. Really? It was my wallet with its contents intact. Either I dropped that stuff or somebody else did. Maybe I was sleepwalking again, or maybe somebody stole it from me. What? Norman's store, that forest, the water tower? Was I at all those places before? What? Wait, what? What is happening? I mean, you would assume, were you not? Yes, I didn't see how it could have happened any other way. I must have been the one to lose my wallet and its contents. But what does that mean? What is going on? There, that was decided. What am I deciding? What is going on? What? Was the photo of the other man and his wife that I found in that house? Were those really his wife's remains in those tunnels? It certainly seems so. What did I think? Did the other man murder his wife and bury her in those tunnels? Well, I mean, like, the bones were buried under the house, so... Yes? The sick bastard must have. What else did that mean? There were some questionable things in those tunnels. What else was he wrapped up in? I don't know what's happening anymore. Shards of that broken mirror, I could see my face, gaunt now, hollow and sickly and immensely troubled. What other illusions had I dreamed up? What other truths were waiting to be exposed? Yeah, like someone killed him. Like, what's going on? Like, so it's like crazy ending? It was the key card I found in the factory, the one that allowed me to slip through that door. It seemed to me that it was probably Norman's, but if that was true, what was he doing back at the plant? Drinking, maybe? I think Norman was going back to the factory. I don't remember anything that implied it was Norman's. Did we find the key card? No, we didn't find it in his locker. What is happening? I don't think like, it's probably me if anyone's going back to the factory, drinking it up. No, somebody else was using that locker room, but who? Laptop had finally run out of power. How long had it been left running? No, I don't think it was Norman. They didn't say anything that implied it was Norman's key card. We didn't find it in his locker. I don't remember finding it in his locker anyways. Let's go in the bathroom. In the dirty faded glass, I look like nothing more than a faint shadow. God, this is getting weird. I used to tell myself that Rachel was the one who wanted to keep the tub. When was the last time I showered? I smelled awful. Well, I mean, if the smell built up, how could you even tell you smelled awful? There's only one set of toiletries by the sink. This is getting weird. Is she like delusional, man? Like... Alright, let's check the next floor. Let's see what we got. It was the letter I had taken from the post box. It had gotten a bit wet in the rain. But if... Well, who wrote that letter then? Who was Norman seeing? Oh no, Norman. If I was wrong about Rachel, then what about him? Did I do that horrible thing to him? I don't know. I legit don't know. Like... I mean, if there's no Rachel, then why would you shoot... Why would you shoot Norman? But I mean, if you believe there was a Rachel, I could see that. But you implied that you didn't know anything was going on. I mean... Clearly it was shot, right? I mean, with his own gun. Dark stain on her coat. I found the gun was in the, remember the gun was down in the cave on the table where that other guy's like was at. Where you start out at. You find that gun. No, you find that gun. We found it, somewhere down in that cave. You found the gun on the table. You picked it up and it was like, I don't know why I'm taking this. But then for some reason it seems like it belonged to Norman, but it wasn't in the house, and you didn't start out with it. But it was in the house you started out with where the guy was dead and the wife's remains were in the basement. I don't know what's going on. I don't know, let's be delusional and say no. I couldn't have. I clearly wasn't seeing things correctly, but no. I could never do something like that. Well, that TV's different. I had that old TV for so long I didn't even know if I could ever replace it. It was a piece of junk, but I couldn't really afford anything newer. Wow, this is getting a little trippy. We got it. There's the safe. My old office safe sat on the floor. I used to keep tax records and other important documents in it. I used the digital passcode lock, but I didn't have the code. Maybe I had left it somewhere. I surmise that at least 2 of the names in that musty notebook must have been recent victims. Those poor girls that I found in that dead forest. You notice Rachel was not at the end of that. I wonder what happened to the other names on that list, or the ones scratched out on the desk in those wet tunnels. What was the other man up to? Yeah, what the hell's going on? Like, if you do sleepwalk, did you sleepwalk to his house or something? Alright, now I'm wondering what's going to be in that safe. Let's go down to the next floor. Seemed like I had seen all there was. Maybe I thought I was ready to go back into the basement. We're not going to the basement yet. We're going to see about getting the pile of mail on the floor I now saw was addressed to me. Bill's credit card offers, a letter from the bank. They were all addressed to me. By the looks of it, I hadn't collected the mail in over a week. That's crazy. How many breakfasts had I eaten there completely alone? Come to think of it, I didn't think I had ever had guests over. Must have locked the door. There was no reason to return to the backyard anyways. Seriously though, what the hell? Let's see if I can see if it's in the same place. Let me go up one more. See if I can find that code. See what's in the safe. Laptop was dead, but I found some notes and loose papers in the drawer where I had found the key. There's a yellow sticky note with an 8-digit code on it. Did I take it? Yeah, you took it. Code looked like it might be for the safe, but what kind of phrase was that? Oops, damn it. What's in the safe? Code I found should have left me access to the safe. Did I try to open it? Yep. It's a poorly framed photo of what looked to be a small headstone in a graveyard. It was tucked away peacefully under a beautiful old maple tree. What? Underneath it was another sheet of paper that looked like some kind of MRI printout. It showed the top view of a brain scan. I noticed the bottom of the scan had 2 whitish patches on it. Do I have brain cancer? It makes me like delusional? I didn't recognize either image. Finally, at the bottom of the pile was a simple white envelope. In front of it read, "Do not open until I tell you." I guess this was a good time as any to see what was inside. Yes. I tore open the envelope and removed the white line paper inside. Yellow line paper inside. On it was a letter, written in a hand that looked familiar. It read, "I know this whole event has probably been pretty difficult. You can't imagine how hard it's been for me, too." Well, maybe you can. That isn't meant to be an excuse, but... well, I hope you can better understand why I've done what I've done. Moving to this town seemed like such a dream. A quiet place to get established, to live out our lives, and to be together. Oh! But you know as well as I do that things quickly changed. Your drinking was one thing, but as you grew more distant, as you retreated into that world of yours, well, it was clear you didn't need me as much. In fact, maybe you never needed me at all, but it took all this to make you realize. In the end, though, you may never forgive me for this. You may never forgive yourself, but this is probably for the best. You'll be healthier for this. I'm just sorry it had to happen this way, Rachel. So there is a Rachel. That's it, ellipses. So there was a Rachel, but she never moved here with you? I don't... So there was a Rachel, but things definitely changed in the house. So are you delusional now, or was it delusional before? Like, because that TV was different, but then it's implying that you've never lived with anyone here. So are you deluding yourself now, or is... the hell? What is happening? I guess we'll go in the basement then, right? Yeah. Come to think of it, I didn't think... yeah, what is going on? What's this? If I was guilty, I could take this to a warm, safe place and do something about it. Did I pick up the knife? Yes, I took the knife and kept it firmly in my hand. What the hell was that? Knife? Right. Right, yeah, he's probably like... walls cracked and pitted. I was told by an inspector the basement had been partially filled in before I bought the house. But by the look of that wall, I was going to need to fix the foundation. Everything smelled musty and old down here. Wait, what? Yeah, I'm wondering, like... okay, that definitely sounded like it was the front door closing or something. Okay, so I have the knife now. What? This is another bed. Wait. I ain't thinking about it. See, because there's the bedroom on the other side. And then there's a bed in that room too. So, god damn it. Well, what's all this have to do with the other guy in the other house? I'm not sure what I do with this knife. Do I just try going out the front door again? Had this mirror been broken in a struggle or by some other way? The dirty faded glass, I look like nothing more than a faint shadow. It's only one set of toiletries, I think. So did she leave, or the old cloth of the bathtub hadn't been cleaned nearly enough? Still, it would probably do. Showed me the truth. I wasn't sure there was any other reason to keep on going. So what do you think? Shouldn't I just end this misery? Oh my god. Okay. Okay. So do we kill ourselves in the bathtub? Whoa, yeah, for real. Shit just got serious. What is happening? Suicide's never the answer. If you say so. Do I have to? I can probably leave the front door. I didn't get no, there was never a knife in the basement. Like, I never got any. I didn't pick anything up, but yeah, I'd never found a knife, and there was never an option to do anything in here. I mean, we left out the front door last time. I still have the option to do that there, but the last time we just went out the front door and it was like, he was just like, oh no, what's happening? I should just leave and fuck off from my house. Now it's like, oh, do I kill myself? Because it's bad? Like, yeah, I knew I needed to escape that nightmare, but what about the knife I still carried? I wondered, even if I left, would it really be over? So I leave the house forever? No. I peered at the knife as I turned away, a warm place I had thought. Where could that be? So I can either leave through the front door again, or I can go upstairs and apparently murder myself in the bathtub. Well, I don't know if leaving through the front door is going to be the same or it's going to change. Let's see what happens. The old cloth would have bathtub hadn't been cleaned early enough. Probably do. Show me the truth. I wasn't sure there was any reason to keep going. So what do you think? Shouldn't I just end this misery? Sure. Since I had arrived in town, things have been difficult. Working in the plant, though, had been good for me. It kept me in line. Gave me something to do and helped me get away from my past. When the factory closed, everything changed. I guess that was when I had started sleepwalking, disappearing for hours at a time. Drinking was probably just a way to deal with that. It was almost as if I was trying to beat my brain at its own game. Things stopped making sense sometime after that. My memories of what happened are still in flux. I suppose that was when Rachel came along. This night had been the worst of my entire life. Would it even be possible to bounce back from everything that had happened? Everything I'd seen? You know, in a way, I almost wish I hadn't even woken up tonight. It would have spared me a lot of pain. That man I had found in the old house had killed his wife, I was sure of it. Just as sure as you killed mine. After making it out of those tunnels, I thought those sewers might feel safer. I was wrong. Security tape I had watched showed someone being attacked by what looked like two people. But who was it that was attacked? And what I have been doing at Norman's place or even in that old forest? Didn't look good, that's for sure. Had I been responsible for what had happened there? What do you think? Was I guilty? Or was I just mad? Just for a second, though, think about something else. Think about those poor girls I'd accidentally discovered in the whole forest. The notebook that I found in those woods had names in it. Names I think I saw somewhere else before. Couldn't have been me behind that, could it? I would never do such a thing to such sweet, innocent people. But anyways, Norman couldn't have been the one going back to the factory. So who else could it have been? Maybe that other man I found. Or maybe it was just the guard all along. You know, you've really screwed me up. I feel like I can't trust a damn thing I've seen anymore. Do we make all kinds of weird choices and the game's literally talking to us about like how we don't know what's happening? I had to catch my breath, take it all in. At each point until the factory, things had only gotten worse. But then going to Norman's store, that's where the confusion and doubt started to set in. That's when my perspective on all this reality really started to change. Damn it, Norman. What were you doing with Rachel? I mean, what was going on? If all this was a lie, then what was really happening? Someone had killed Norman in his store, but it wasn't me. Who else would have wanted him dead? But as painful as all that was, oh no, I couldn't bear to think about it again. After all I had seen and done, finally coming home was supposed to be the end of this entire ordeal. I had no idea, though, that it was only the beginning. The silence in the house when I first stepped through the kitchen door, that should have been my first clue. To think that I went through all that, completely unaware of what I would discover. Did you know before the end? Did you mock me when you finally showed me the truth? You don't know what it's like to have everything ripped away from you in a heartbeat. How could I possibly go on not knowing what I do, now knowing what I do, without Rachel? Even the thought of Rachel, I was truly lost. I drew a warm bath in the old tub and undressed. I wonder how many times I'd done this before and thought about doing what we're about to do now. No, don't look away. It's actually really easy, really peaceful. See, I just keep my arms in the water as I make the cuts. It stings, but I can't really feel anything after that. This is fucked up. Really, I'm just getting tired now. I have to thank you. This hasn't been easy, but you were right. This was the only way. Technically, no, but I mean, this was a different way. So you're gonna show me dead in the tub? Who's draining the tub? Well then. Shit. What the fuck? Okay, so that didn't really answer anything either. Sort of, but no. Christ's sake. Holy crap. Wake my computer up here. The end. There's another one. And back to title. Let's see if it can let me load a game. Nope. That's like 2 runs in. I appreciate it, man. I appreciate you sticking around, hanging out. Oh shit. I think at some point I'm gonna have to make some more runs of this, like see what else. There's so much stuff to not pick up and different choices. I'm really wondering what else you can do. I think there's one more ending that ends in the kitchen. Cause trophy spoilers. Not really spoilers, cause this game's like weird and convoluted and holy crap. Man, oh man. Man, oh man, oh man. That was some stuff. Oh yeah, man, totally. Thanks for following. Other person in the room hanging out. Thanks for hanging out. And you know, I don't know. I guess I should show myself maybe. It's only 2 of you, but you can find me on Twitter and everywhere, same name. Try to keep you updated. See if I do this again. Hope to see you there. Oh, there's another person. Last minute. Oh man. Anyways, Manfred. Yeah. Pass out again. Thanks for hanging out. Thanks for the follow. And I don't know. I'll keep you posted if I do another run on it. And someone else came in. I feel bad about ending the stream. Oh man, I could find something else to play. I don't know, let me see what time it is here. I don't really have anything to do, but it's like 5 in the morning, holy crap. Have you take it easy. Hmm. Alright, let me see here. I don't want to do another run here. See if I can switch games, hang out for a minute. Unless you came here specifically to watch home, otherwise. Let me see what I got. If I switch games, it's gonna jerk everything up. I don't know, what else do I got? Guess I should try and keep it Halloween themed. Maybe. Oh, everybody bailed. Nah, you know what, I'll cut it off. It's like 5 in the morning. So. But I'll have to do another stream at home at some point. Alright, that's been my broadcast. Appreciate everybody that watched. The follows, likes, any of that stuff. Find my other stuff. All that happy good stuff. I'm only talking to myself. And we'll see you next time.